Everybody, welcome back. It's Drax bringing you your daily ride home where we talk about life, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, and everything in between. This crazy roller coaster that we are all riding. As always, you can find us on YouTube currently. That's where we'll be putting our content out, but we will be moving to an actual podcast forum soon. So keep looking for us. You can like and subscribe on YouTube to help facilitate that transition and to keep yourself updated as to when we move to that so that you can always get our content, and we appreciate that. Currently, we're only doing this once a week, and we hope to get this up to two, three times a week here in the next couple of months. And then hopefully, as the name implies, this is your daily ride home. We'd like to be doing this daily, but currently it's once a week. And as always, we do this because sometimes you need to know that you're not the only one that thinks that way, and that can make your life just a little bit better. And we hope to do that. So, from there, since this is like the gazillionth take for me, I've been talking about my awesome trip to the doctor today, where I was able to get the stitches out from my bicep injury, which was amazing, healed great. Everything has gone good. I still can't open the arm or move it, and the doctor only wants me to move the arm like to a 30 degree, no more. And I was supposed to get a some type of brace that only allows me to move 30 degrees so that I can slowly rebuild it. But because our insurance is the way it is now, especially with mine, as it was a workplace injury that put me in this condition, um, the brace I was supposed to get was not given to me because they have to wait on approval from the insurance company to get it. So I'm supposed to go home and just not move it to pass this position that is arbitrary to me because my arm isn't a freaking a compass or whatever you would call it. I don't even know what you call that thing that tells the degrees. If you do know what that is called, please throw that down in the comments below so I can use the right terminology next time. But I don't have a set degree marker on me. Like I know my arm fully extended is 180, and I know where 90 is, uh, but 30, I don't know where that is. I can guesstimate, but anyway, so I wasn't able to get that. So they just sent me home and told me, don't overextend your arm because that'll put you back in surgery, which has got me thinking about my how am I sleeping, because now I have to. I don't know if I'm gonna have to tie my arm around my back, tie it to my stomach, or I don't know. I've got to figure this out as to how I'm not going to, because apparently if you're not well, if you didn't make some wise life choices early on in life, uh, when you get to middle of life, poor life choices are made for you, like not being able to get the proper medical equipment to keep you from re-injuring yourself, and that to me is pretty sad. But that is life, ups and downs. Nothing is fair, so we never look for that, but we look for the happy moments and the sad moments. And the happy moments is I get to come in here and I get to talk to y'all and I get to explain this to y'all, and hopefully we can exact some change, because it's gotten to the point now where doctors, especially like mine, who have a team that they have to pay, and I've got a couple of doctor friends, so I know that they spend over 50% of uh, their their weekly budget is on collections because nobody pays medical. That's a lie. We can't really deal with absolutes. Medical bills don't get paid in general. So, in order to protect themselves, like right now, they can't give me the equipment because there's no guarantee that the insurance company is going to pay them. And it's a $500 piece of equipment. Now, should it be $500? Probably not. But it is $500. That's the value they had to assign to it for whatever reason they assigned that value. But now I'm here at my house, in my studio, thinking about how that amount of money might be the difference between me having to go back to surgery and not back to surgery. Between back to surgery or an easy recovery. Because I got to tell you, the surgeon did an amazing job. I had a thing called a nerve block. If you ever go into surgery and they say, "Do you want the nerve block?" My personal recommendation from my life experience is the nerve block is the shit. It is amazing. For me, it cut the pain down to almost nothing. And there's some discomfort. Don't get me wrong. Like for me, I couldn't feel my fingers for a certain amount of time, but it was amazing. Like it literally changed my view of hospital proceedings. And I'm not going to say anything about the fact that like, oh man, when they wheeled me out to do the surgery, because I was telling him, the nurse, like I've had surgeries. I'm not young. You know, I'm not young, and I've been road hard. Oh, excuse me. I have been rode hard and put away wet. I'm a big guy. I'm a strong guy. My daddy told me you could be strong or smart, and I was too stupid to pick smart, so I was strong. So I've had surgeries, is what I'm getting at. I've had people come in and have to poke and prod and put stuff back together because I've always pushed the limits of my physical abilities. But I told them, hey, I'm ready for this. I have prepared. I am tired. You will have no problems knocking me out. And that guy said, no, we're not going to have any problems. It's come a long way. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, right. I'm gonna fight this a little bit now. I'm not going straight to night night land. I'm not going straight to the night night. But they wheeled me out of that room and hooked a left, and I swear to God that is the last thing I remember. And I woke up very disoriented because I don't remember them telling me I was going to bed, so my brain was not prepared for waking up. But even when I woke up, minimal pain. And I've had some surgeries where I woke up screaming bloody murder. I've had surgeries where I've woke up where my brother, who's an amazing man, was running out the door to grab nurses because there was something wrong because he knows my pain threshold. And I woke up screaming. So, this surgeon did an amazing job. And I'm not saying that the surgeons in the past didn't do amazing jobs. They did good work. I have a doctor in particular. Shout out to Mark Henry. 2 decades ago, he worked on a finger of mine. or as we say down here in the South, a finger. But he worked on it, and it was a amputation situation, but he was able to put it back in such a way as to give me a nail and to correct a lot of stuff that happened. So, I mean, uh, Mark Henry is an amazing hand surgeon if ever you have to get one. Now, he's a little older now, so he may be closer to retiring in his practice, but I guarantee he'll be able to know who is the next up and comer. And he is amazing. So, my hat's off to him. And my hat's off to Kevin Smith for the surgery he's done on my arm here. I really thank you. You've been a blessing to me and to my family, and we thank you for your hard work on my arm. Uh, so, but this is my experience right now. So I'm sitting here looking at my elbow, keeping it bent at a 90 because 90's easy, 30's difficult. And I'm just trying not to move it past, too far past 90. Hopefully, that'll be okay. So, you know, these kind of situations make me realize, like, I had a buddy of mine, his dad told him, you can pay now, play later, or you can pay now, play later. Well, he chose to do all of his work up front. He front loaded his work. He plays now. I'm sorry. Let's get that correct. He plays now. He's in his 40s. But in his 20s, he worked, and he had his nose to the grindstone. This dude was on it. Went to school. I mean, I say he worked. I mean, he grew up on a farm, so he knows what work is. And growing up on that farm put him in a situation where he didn't want to do that kind of work. So now he does medical stuff. And he put his work in school, in intelligent things, doing the smart stuff. My daddy told me, you can be smart or you can be strong. Didn't really elaborate on that too much. Just smart, strong. I chose strong. My whole life I wanted to be military, and I was. But not the military I wanted to be. I wanted to be special forces. It did not make special forces. And not to say that I don't have that particular set of moral ambiguity that they look for, because I do. But I also had a different upbringing and a different set of circumstances that was compatible with them, because I didn't know it at the time, but I have what is known as an addictive personality. So I'm all or nothing on stuff, which is fine. But it led to me ending up in a situation where I played now. And now that we're in the later part of life, I'm paying. And I recommend, that if you can find your passion, follow your passion, do your passion. Be tenacious with your passion, which is easy to do because when you're passionate about something, you can be tenacious. You can see it through the rough patches. I liked fighting when I was younger. I used to get whooped by all my cousins and just beat on. And I loved every minute of it. Getting just whooped. I remember losing fights thinking, that's the one that taught me something. I learned I should never do that again. Never try to shake a hand, whatever it was. Let's not get too crazy into the fighting stuff. We live in a very political society now where you start talking like that, they might not have this podcast anywhere. But I digress a little there. I played first. And I had a great time doing it. But now, later in life, I look back and it's like, ooh, man, you were making some bad decisions. If you would have just done a couple of these things, you would be in a position now where you could have played the whole time. I couldn't have played as much, but I could have played the whole time. No one ever told me you could play the whole time. I saw people play the whole time. You know, these rich people, their mom and daddy had tons of money, and they just somehow get shuffled right along into it. That wasn't my buddy's experience. My buddy came from farmers. Now his daddy was a farm. His grandpa was a farmer. His daddy got out of farming, got into medicine. He was on the farm with grandpa because his dad wanted him to have a good, solid work ethic. He saw that that work was backbreaking and said, I see why my dad didn't want to do this. And he went into the medical field as well, and now he's an amazing guy. Now, he had to, put his nose to the grindstone in his chosen profession and in his career field and do the schoolwork and all of that, but he did all of that early in life so that later in life he's now in a really good spot. He's in a position where he can play and he's got his toys and he's got his this and that and he's building companies and stuff, and that is an amazing achievement. But I've got other buddies of mine, super intelligent, that I thought were going to do freaking fantastic things, but something that we all shared in common is where I was passionate about something, I was passionate about something that you can't make money on. Some people will be that way. They'll be happy with what they're doing. But some people never find a passion. They don't even have a passion. And that's I'm not going to say anything about it because I spent 10 years. Uh, I have to back up a little bit in order to say this. And I know that this kind of, I'm trying to stay on topic, but it's kind of come from, the medical and gone into a $500 being a breaking point for some Americans or being a huge financial hit to, how that could have been avoided and stuff. So it is what it is. Um, it's kind of gone a little bit out of where I wanted it to go, but I kind of want this to be this way, where it kind of flows. Maybe next time I'll try to keep it a little bit more concise. But I know people that don't even have a passion, who never had a passion, who don't even know what a passion is, and that I don't know if that's better or worse than having a passion and losing that passion and not being able to find another one, because that's my personal experience. I've had a passion, but it's not a passion that I think would be great to share with the world anymore. It's not a passion that's needed there that will give me a great financial security. It is a passion though. But even that passion, it died. And I spent 10 years looking for another passion. And I have not found a passion to replace that one I had. At this point in my life, that might have been it. That might have been my only passion, and I might have missed it. And I wonder how many people out there have missed their passion when I get to thinking about that. How many of us had a passion and for whatever reason weren't able to see it to fruition? And what would the world be like if more people were able to follow their passions to fruition? I mean, it's just that sort of stuff is what keeps me awake at night. Not all the time because I'm a pretty good sleeper, but those kind of questions are things that rattle off in my head and make me want to think more about the world, think more about what is it that we could do to be better, to achieve more, to do more. But anyway, if some of this resonated with you, man, that's awesome. Uh, Tune in next week for another segment. We probably won't be keeping on this topic, but we'll move on to a different one. But as always, have a great day, night, morning, and we will see you on the next one.